There are moments when a politician is asked a simple question, and instead of answering it, they light the room on fire with distractions. This was one of those moments.
We had very, very good talks today, having to do with Russia, Ukraine. Something could be happening. We likewise had very good talks on Iran. Iran looks like it wants to make a deal very badly. We have to see what that deal is. But I think Iran looks like they want to make a deal very badly, as they should. Last time they decided maybe not to do it, but I think they probably feel differently. We'll see what the deal is. It'll be different than last time. And we have a big armada. We have a big fleet heading in that direction. We'll be there pretty soon. So we'll see how that works out. The stock market, as you know, broke a number that they thought was going to be impossible to break. Certainly during my first year, they said if you could do it in your fourth year, by the fourth year, we broke 50,000 on the Dow. Most people thought that was not possible to do so quickly. We did it in the first year. So we're about 3 years ahead of schedule. It's going good. Prices are way down. You don't hear the Democrats talking about affordability anymore, which they caused the affordability problem very badly. But you don't hear that word. I haven't heard that word spoken in a week and a half because they can't speak because the prices are down. Energy's down. If you look at oil, if you look at gasoline, a gallon of gasoline in Iowa, I was there last week, was $1.85, $1.89, and $1.99 at 3 different stations. And it's that way in a lot of places. So gasoline is way down, energy's down, groceries are down. We've broken the Biden disaster, the mess that I inherited. The border is extremely secure, more so than it's ever been. We've got 9 months with 0 people coming in illegally. And I think the immigration problem we're doing very well. And crime is at a record low for 125 years, just announced. The lowest has been since 1900. That's pretty good. That's a long time. So, do you have any questions, John?
Mr. President, social media post that you took down earlier today, the White House says that a staffer sent it. Who sent it, and are you going to fire them?
No, I looked at it. I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud, and I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud in and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we turned it, But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things, and I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. And they had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff. By the way, a lot of people covered. If you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff on The Lion King. And certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it. And probably they would have had the sense to take it down. But that was a takeoff on The Lion King. And a lot of people were covered on in different positions. So, but I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great. Tim is a great guy. He understood that 100%. Go ahead.
Mr. President, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner met with Iran's foreign minister today. You also had Brad Cooper there, the head of CENTCOM. A deal doesn't look like it's been reached yet. How long are you willing to wait?
A deal can be reached. Well, you have to get in position. We have plenty of time. If you remember Venezuela, we waited around for a while, and we're in no rush. We have, very good talks going with Iran. We have very good talks going with Russia and Ukraine. We're doing a lot of good talking, and I think we had the results today were with Iran. It was a meeting. We're going to meet again early next week, and they want to make a deal. Iran, as they should want to make a deal. They're know the consequences. If they don't make a deal, the consequences are very steep. So we'll see what happens. But they had a very good meeting with a very high representative of Iran, and we'll see how it all turns out.
Civil human rights groups.
See that? By the way, I'd love to see that. If we could do that, I'd love to see it.
Mr. President, is a deal that is acceptable that only covers? With Iran, is there a deal that only covers nuclear that would be acceptable to you? Because they just want to have nuclear. They don't want to have anything else.
Like that would be acceptable, but the one thing, and right up front, no nuclear weapons. If we could have made that deal 2 years ago, we would have made that deal, but they weren't willing to do that. Now they are willing to do it. So they're willing to do much more than they would have a year and a half ago, or even a year ago when don't forget, we've only been doing this for exactly 1 year. And we started with them a few months after the beginning of this term. This term has been amazing, but the results could surprise people. If they would have offered this deal originally when we first started, it would have been accepted immediately. We'll see what happens now.
Mr. President, a number of people in the MAGA base say they aren't satisfied with the administration just focusing on deporting violent criminals.
Who are you with?
I'm Natalie Ellison with the Washington Post.
Washington, well, you having a hard time getting readers. Washington Post is doing very poorly. Go ahead, you have a very bad attitude.
When Donald Trump was asked about a racist video posted on his social media, a clip attacking the Obamas and later taken down, the question was not complicated. It wasn't hostile. It wasn't unclear. Who posted it? Why was it posted? And would he apologize? What followed was not an answer. It was a masterclass in deflection. Trump didn't begin by addressing the content of the video. He didn't acknowledge why people were offended. Instead, he launched into a rapid-fire list of unrelated claims: foreign policy progress, stock market records, gasoline prices, border security, crime statistics. This is not accidental. It's a strategy. When confronted with controversy, Trump doesn't narrow the focus. He floods the zone. He overwhelms the moment with noise, hoping the original question gets lost in the chaos. And for a while, it worked. When pressed about the post, Trump claimed he only saw the beginning of it. He said it was about voter fraud. He insisted he didn't see the racist imagery at the end. According to him, a staffer reposted it without reviewing the full content. But here's the problem with that explanation. Trump repeatedly claims absolute control over his administration. He attacks other leaders for not knowing what's going on in their name. And yet, in this moment, he suddenly wants plausible deniability. Suddenly, he didn't know. Suddenly, it was someone else's fault. You don't get to run on total authority and then hide behind ignorance when that authority produces something ugly. When asked directly whether he would apologize, Trump didn't hesitate. No, he said. I didn't make a mistake. That single sentence tells you everything. Rather than condemning the content outright, he reframed the issue as media hysteria. He dismissed the racist imagery as a small part at the very end and compared it to a parody, a takeoff on The Lion King. That comparison is revealing because it minimizes the harm while shifting blame to interpretation. It suggests the problem isn't what was posted, but how people reacted to it. And then came the pivot. Trump attacked the press. He mocked the Washington Post's readership. He questioned reporters' motives. He turned the focus away from the Post and toward his base, insisting they were thrilled, stronger than ever, and fully behind him. This is the emotional judo Trump has perfected. When faced with criticism, he doesn't defend the action. He rallies loyalty. He reframes the controversy as an attack on his supporters, not on his conduct. And when asked whether the post might hurt Republicans with black voters, Trump responded with a familiar refrain: criminal justice reform, funding for historically black colleges and universities, claims of unprecedented support. He even declared himself the least racist president, not by engaging with the criticism, but by listing accomplishments as shields. This is not accountability, it's substitution. Instead of answering whether the post was wrong, Trump argued that his record outweighs it. Instead of acknowledging the impact of racist imagery, he recited achievements as if they erase offense. But politics doesn't work that way. You don't get to decide whether something is racist based on intent alone. Impact matters, context matters, and leadership matters most when something goes wrong, not when it goes right. What made this exchange even more striking was how Trump treated every question as interchangeable. A racist post, immigration policy, Iran negotiations, crime rates, a missing child investigation, Olympic ceremonies, everything blurred together into one continuous performance. And that's the point. By refusing to slow down, by refusing to stay on topic, Trump avoided a moment of moral clarity. He never fully confronted why the post was offensive. He never explained how such content passed internal checks. He never took responsibility beyond saying it was taken down. Only after repeated pressure did he finally say he condemned the racist parts of the video, almost as an aside, before immediately pivoting back to the economy. That hesitation matters, because condemnation that comes only after exhaustion is not leadership, it's damage control. This moment wasn't just about a video. It was about how power responds when challenged. It was about whether a president sees accountability as a duty or as a nuisance to be managed. Trump chose management over responsibility. And for his supporters, that may be enough. But for the country, it raises a deeper question. If the response to a racist post is denial, distraction, and deflection, what happens when the stakes are even higher? Because leadership isn't tested when things are easy. It's tested when something goes wrong in your name. And in this moment, the answer was clear. If you care about accountability, if you believe words from the highest office still matter, and if you think leadership includes owning mistakes, not burying them, then this exchange matters. Like the video. Subscribe for sharp political breakdowns without the spin. And tell me in the comments, was this a genuine explanation or another calculated dodge? Because sometimes what a leader won't say tells you more than everything they do.